So, technology comes with a promise of simplifying your life and making things easier. But is that really the truth? In this video, I will show you 20 technology tips in 10 minutes that will speed things up and save you in labor costs. Welcome to Dave Talks Business.
We have Dave Kramer, the founder of All Pro Web Tools.
Dave has worn many hats over the years as a small business owner.
Well, I really feel that small business is the core of the American economy. Amen.
Did you know there is a single button on your keyboard that will instantly take you to the top of a web page and another one that will instantly scroll you to the bottom? Do you know which one it is? Keep watching and I'll show you. When you hire employees, your company spends money every minute they're clocked in. The expenses can add up quickly, especially if you have multiple employees. So it is important that you are not paying them to wait for computer loading screens or to retype a document that was lost because it wasn't saved in the first place. There are so many ways that you might be using technology inefficiently in your business. I would like to show you some time-saving tips, and I am sure there will be at least one tip in this video that you have never heard about. The first question I'm commonly asked is about my computer screen. Why is it so big? Well, let me show you. You and your staff probably use a computer screen that looks somewhat this size. And when you want to switch between different windows, you close the window and you open the new window on this screen. Yes. But I want to show you something that's a lot more effective and efficient. But first, let's take a look at what the size of this screen is. This is known as a 20-inch monitor. If you measure from corner to corner, it's 20 inches. So here's the interesting thing about this monitor. If you come over here, and you can purchase a monitor like this for about $100, $150. You can purchase a television that's 40 inches for $300. And what it does is it gives you 4 times the screen area. And you can divide your screen so that you can see 4 times as many things all at once. So you don't lose that time switching between different windows because it's all right there and you can see everything.
And Dave will repeat this all the time. You have a big screen for a reason. You have a big screen for a reason. So you're going to want to utilize your humongous screen for all of the different things that you keep on it. Liza, for example, she's utilizing all of her screen. For example, Tommy over here has a large screen and he has different applications open on each screen. Now, Zoe over here, you can see his desktop and he only has one application open and it's not even utilizing the entire screen. So what do we say, Zoe?
Wait.
You
have a big screen for a reason. I have one line. wait, I didn't know I was being prompted to say something. You have a big screen for a reason.
You definitely have a big screen for a reason.
Now, a lot of these tips I'm going to show you apply to just basic ergonomics or how you set up your computer systems in your office, but some of them are going to be computer specific. I personally don't use Apple computers, but the majority of the tips I'm going to show you do translate to the Apple world. You can find out what they are. They're just a Google search away. So this is what I do in my office is I provide a desk that can be used both for standing or for sitting. And so I've done the research and the optimal height for the actual desk is 44 inches to the top of the desk. And the optimal height for a chair would be a chair that can go all the way up to 3 feet. And that's going to provide for an ergonomic sitting environment. But also, as you can see, the staff are able to switch constantly throughout the day from either sitting or standing. And I find that keeps them a little bit more engaged in their work and allows them to kind of dance around at their desk sometimes or just sit still. So it gives them a lot of variety so they don't get susceptible to repetitious strain injuries on their body. So there's another area where you can increase efficiency, and it's going to seem like a really small thing, but when you think about the fact that your team members are sitting at their desks typing 8 hours a day, and if you have multiple employees, this really adds up. So if you have a keyboard like this is an older style keyboard, And you notice how tall these keys are. And it actually takes a lot of force to push these down. What I want to show you is something known as a chiclet keyboard. And the reason they call it that is because the keys are about the size of a chiclet. And you can see how tall they are compared to the deck of this keyboard. And the force that it takes to press these keys is much, much less. And it allows you to type much faster on this keyboard, so you'll be much more efficient.
So here's something that I surprisingly see a lot of. When somebody goes to a web page and they're looking for something specific, let's say we're looking for balance sheets. Are you seeing that anywhere on here? And you're scrolling and you're reading and you're looking and it's just taking time. And this is something that I see staff do as well. So what you can do is just hold down Control and F and then start typing balance sheet, and it's going to take you right to it. Now up here where it did the search, you can see that it found the first instance out of 3. And if I want to just jump to the next one, I can do that and jump to the next one like that. That is so much faster than scrolling and reading everything on the entire page. And you can do this on both websites and regular Word docs. Just Control F and just type in what you're looking for. And it's going to take you right to that area on the page. It's a real time saver. Now, the next thing I'd like to show you is when you have all of these different programs open down here, there's actually a faster way of getting to them, and you can use the keyboard to do this. And the way you do that is by holding down the Alt key and then tapping the Tab key. And that's going to bring up this little mini screen that's going to show you all of the different things that you have open. So you can just keep typing until you find what you're looking for. Now, what's really nice about this feature is if you press Alt and Tab just one time, it's going to bring you back to the very last thing that you were on. So this is really nice if you are trying to copy information from one source to another. You can simply jump back and forth between the two programs by holding Alt and Tab. Now, the next thing is we are all familiar with copying information. So let's say I want to copy a word from this document. So I will select it and then I will right click on it and do copy. But really, that's time consuming. Another way you can do this is by using the keyboard and just press the Control key and then C. Control C, that's for copy. So now I can go to my next program by using Alt Tab, and then I can do Control V. So if you realize how fast this is, I can go back by hitting Alt Tab, and I can select the next word, and I can do Control C, Alt Tab, Control V, and I've already copied in the next piece of information. Now I can go get the next piece of information by doing Alt Tab again, clicking on the item I want to copy, and instead of using the mouse, Control C, Alt Tab, Control V, and I've copied 3 words very quickly. Now there's another control character, which is Control X. So let's say I placed this word in the wrong place, and I'm going to copy it, and then I'm going to paste it, and then I'm going to go back up and I'm going to delete it. Well, there's another way of doing this. You can do Control X, and then when you move it over and do Control V, it will move it for you. So you don't have to do that step where you go back and you delete it. It's going to save you some time. Now that brings me to something else that we find in Word documents very commonly is when you want to move your cursor, we're all used to using the arrow keys, but there is a much faster way of moving around in a sentence. And so the first thing I want to show you is the end key. If I press the end key, it will take me automatically to the end of the line. There's also a corresponding home key. I can press that, and it will take me to the beginning of the line. You can also jump word for word by holding down the Control key and using the arrow. So it's going to take me to the beginning of every word every time I tap the arrow key. I can also go backwards. And if I was to hold down the Shift key, I can highlight. Now that's just one letter at a time. What if I wanted to highlight one word at a time? Well, I can hold down the Control key and Shift, and now I can use arrow, and it's going to go one word at a time. that's going to save you much more time than tapping this key repeatedly. And it's probably going to make your keyboard last longer because you're not pressing the keys so many times. Something else I see very common is when we are typing along and we realize that we misspelled something, what we'll do is we'll hit the backspace key and we'll delete all these wonderful words that were spelled correctly just so we can fix that previous word. Now, another way you can do this without removing these words that were typed correctly is to hold down the Control key and then go back to that word and very easily change. And then you can hit the End key to get right back where you were. Something else that I think you'll really appreciate about the Home and End keys is when you're on a web page. If you're on a web page and you're here in the middle of the page and it's a really long page and you want to get all the way back up to the top, just press the Home key. Takes you right to the top. And if you want to get to the bottom, just press the End key. Takes you right to the bottom. And I can go back up to the top with Home again. Something else you can do in Windows is there's this extra key here that a lot of people don't realize is here, and it's the Windows logo. You can press that key and it's automatically going to pop up your Start menu. And it's going to be ready for you to type in a program that you're looking for. So you can just start typing that program, and then it's going to highlight that program, and you can just press the Enter key to load the program. You don't even need the mouse, and it's actually faster. And the more you do this, the faster you're going to get at it. So another key that's very useful when you're creating a document is the Control B key. So if you highlight a word and you do Control B, it's going to automatically make it bold for you. And if you hit it again, it's going to return it to normal. You can do the same thing with Control I to make it italics. And you can do the same thing with Control U to underline. And there's a number of other shortcut keys. And I really suggest you get familiar with these because it really is going to save you time. Other than bringing your mouse up here and finding the appropriate button, if you just memorize these keystrokes, you don't even have to look at the top menu. Another one that is really important is Control S to save your file. You just press Control and you can use your pinky finger and then S, and it just saves it automatically. You don't have to move your mouse and press the button up here. Control S is going to save it much faster. And finally, you've got Control and P for print. And so if you want to easily print something, Control P, and then you can just hit the Enter key, and that's going to hit the OK button for you and send it right off to the printer. So next, I'd like to talk about using the mouse. And there are just so many inefficiencies I see when people use a mouse. We really need to go over this. So first of all, if you wanted to select this word here, a lot of people will use their mouse and just kind of click at the beginning and try to get it all the way to the end. And that's really kind of a tedious, see like what happened there? See that? Has that ever happened to you? When it just jumps and selects something that you didn't expect it to? What causes that? That I didn't select here. I just want techniques. I must have not hit it exactly where it wanted me to. Well, there's a much faster way of selecting a word, and that is to just double click the word. That's all it is, just double click the word. Now, once you've done that, you can use your keyboard to do Control C or Control V or Control X or Control B or Control I, and it's just so much faster. Now, there's something else you can do with the mouse, which is called the triple click, 1, 2, 3. So in Microsoft Word, that's going to highlight the entire paragraph. In other text editors, it might highlight just that line. So we'll do a triple click on this website here, and it's just going to grab that entire line. So I'm doing 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So the triple click is really helpful too when you have information in these form fields. If you just double click, you're going to get one word at a time, but I'm going to do a triple click, 1, 2, 3, and it selects the entire contents of that web form field, and that can be really helpful. Another thing you can do with a mouse that I think is really handy is when you want to take an image off of a website, we're all familiar with right-clicking and saving image as, and then you have to figure out where you want to put it, but there's a much faster way. Just grab the image, click the mouse, and pull it off and drag it there, and now I have it on my computer. That's really easy. Finally, something I'd like to show you is we have these tabs up here in the web browser, and these allow us to look at several different web pages at the same time. So what if we're on a website and we want to open each of these in a new tab? So what I can do is I can hold down the Control key and I can click these, and they're going to automatically pop up right here at the top of the web browser. So now I can just easily go through them. That's the Control key whenever you're clicking a link on a website.
So I hope you learned a few new computer tricks. If you did, please hit the like button below and consider subscribing to this channel. It really helps out. Did I miss a computer trick? Do you have suggestions for other small business owners? Go ahead and let us know about it in the comments below. I recommend teaching these tricks to all your new hires, or you can just have all your new hires watch this video and I'll train them for you. Make sure they exercise them, and you will need to continually remind them of these until it becomes muscle memory and second nature to them. I guarantee it will increase your team's productivity. Hey, thanks for watching. So how did I do? Let me know in the comments below. And if you have an idea for a video I should do in the future, you can put that in the comments too. I also have a free small business resource toolkit available on my website. You can find the link in the description below. If you like this video, go ahead and hit the like button. And you can also subscribe right here. And there's another great video that will help your small business right here.